What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is my second channel, and this is your home for my Twitch highlights and my podcast. So if you like this and you want to see more of that and you want to join the live streams, there's a link to that in the description of this video. And with that out of the way,
it is time to talk about why country, in particular pop country, is, in my opinion, the best genre of music. You guys know me. I listen to literally everything. I listen to everything from, death metal to opera to fusion to rap. I listen to literally everything. But if I had to pick one genre right now, it would be pop country, which is interesting to me because I didn't grow up on that stuff at all. When I was a kid, that was like right about when Garth Brooks started getting popular. But I hated that stuff. Like, I had no interest in country or anything like that until a couple years ago. All I wanted to listen to was like hardcore and death metal and shit like that when I was a kid. As I got older, I got more into hardcore and death metal and, all that kind of stuff. But in the past couple years, I have found myself listening to more and more and more country. And I'll tell you why. It's very simple. It is because really, honestly, I don't identify anymore with kind of the music and message and lyrics and attitude and culture of a lot of alternative music. I just don't. At this point in my life, I'm into hanging out with my wife, trying to start a family, buying shit for our house. I'm not angry anymore. And I feel like, it is not a coincidence that I'm also happy for the first time in my life. I guess you could say sort of it's chicken and the egg, but I feel like the appeal of metal and hardcore and punk and even a lot of rap, the appeal of that stuff started to kind of wane for me as I got my shit together and started to have a happier life. It's kind of like I would listen to some of this stuff, and it's not like I thought the music was bad or anything like that, but I would listen to this stuff and just be like, I can't do it. I'm not into this. And in fact, it's more than just not identifying with it anymore and outgrowing it. It's more of like I actually consciously reject a lot of it. And that's why it's hard for me to listen to a lot of that kind of music these days. And so what I wanted to do was kind of share a couple specific examples of that and sort of compare and contrast it with the world of metal and punk and hardcore to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And it's not to say, that you're not allowed to listen to metal or something like that, or that's going to make you an unhappy person. But as I've said before, we have to acknowledge that if music can have a positive effect on you, on your mentality and your life and your actions, then you have to also acknowledge that music can also have a negative effect, right? You can't have one without the other. It's impossible that music can only have a positive effect. So I want to just take a look at a couple examples of this, and maybe, hopefully, this might be a moment for some of you to realize, like, shit, a lot of the music that I love promotes some like pretty toxic, negative shit that maybe my life is better off without it. And hopefully by the end of the stream, you will agree that pop country is the superior genre of music. The virgin metal versus the Chad pop country. That's my goal for this stream. So let's look at a couple examples of this, just to sort of compare and contrast. So admittedly, I'm kind of cherry picking here. I'm finding some of the most awful examples of rock and metal. I'll give you that, but still, it's there. For example, let's talk about breakups, right? This is something we've probably all been through. We've all had a breakup and it sucks, right? But how you deal with it is everything. We all feel the same way. If somebody dumps you, you feel sad, you feel betrayed, you feel hurt. We all feel the same way, but how do you deal with it? That's the question. A lot of stuff on the more metal side of things, let's just say maybe they don't deal with it in the most healthy way. For example, I'm not even going to say the name of this song by Thy Art Is Murder. Check out these lyrics and his feelings on women who have disappointed him. This is where it gets really bad. This is brutal stuff. Whoa, 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 whoa. Extermination. Look at this shit. This next line. This guy gets broken up with and he's so angry. He calls her a horrible word that I'm not going to repeat, and he wants to kill her with a chainsaw. My man, I think you're taking this one a little bit hard. I think you need to develop some coping skills. Obviously, this is an extreme example. This is not what all metal and punk and hardcore. It's not reflective of the way that everybody feels, but I would say as a whole, you know, there's a lot of that. A lot of this sort of, you know, dealing with rejection by turning it into this super bitter, angry, negative, hateful, oftentimes misogynist kind of thing. It's not cool. This is the virgin deathcore versus the Chad pop country. Over here in pop country land, us Chads, here's how we deal with it. We go take a little trip to the lake house with the boys.
I took a little time, tequila and therapy.
Little therapy.
Spent a whole lot of lonely nights. I was mad at myself, pissed at the world.
I was mad at myself, pissed at the world. I've been there, my friend.
Kept on keeping on going through the motions until there was no hard feelings.
No hard feelings. The bro from Thy Artist Murder wants to kill her with a chainsaw. The Chad pop country artist in Old Dominion, he says no hard feelings.
I can't honestly say I'm happy to see the happy back in your eyes.
I'm honestly happy to see the happiness back in your life. And he's dealing with it. He just put on this comfy sweater from Banana Republic. Have some tequila with the boys, play a few rounds of cards.
Do I wish it was me? Hell yeah. Am I all the way over the pain? Not yet.
Am I all the way over the pain? Not yet. Listen to the honesty here. A real man, a true Chad, is able to confront his feelings. He's able to admit when he's hurt. Doesn't mean he has to chase after with a fucking chainsaw.
Baby, and I'm still breathing. And there's no hard feelings. But I probably owe you an apology.
I owe you an apology. Listen to that. I probably owe you an apology. The man is willing to look in the mirror and say, you know what? Maybe I bear some responsibility in this breakup. Maybe I got to work on myself a little bit. I owe you an apology.
Go with the grudge till there's no
Let go of the grudge until there's no hard feelings. Don't worry, King. Your queen is out there, and you and I both know you'll find her. With this healthy attitude, it's only a matter of time until you find your queen. Give me a hug, King. Give me a hug. Look, he's pointing out the rainbow. The fucking weirdo from Thy Artist Murder is furiously writing out lyrics about killing his ex with a chainsaw. Meanwhile, the Chad from Old Dominion is like, hey man, look at that rainbow. Ain't that thing beautiful? Isn't it amazing that God gave us such incredible things in our lives? I feel so blessed to be here right now with all of you. So there's one example. The pop country Chad, willing to work on himself, willing to admit that maybe he had some responsibility in this breakup. The pain is still there. I still feel it, but I've moved on. It's going to get better every day. And hey, best of luck to you. Happy to see that you found someone that made you happy. We'll both just move on. That's the difference between the virgin deathcore band and the Chad pop country artist. Another thing that's a little bit disappointing. Now, I talked before about specifically like hardcore and death metal, but you know, I listen to a lot of rap too. I've been listening to rap since 1987. I listened to rap before I knew what like hardcore metal was or anything like that, since I was a little kid. So I've been a big fan of rap forever. That said, you know, these days especially, it's pretty hard for me to kind of relate to any of it because the messaging in rap has just gotten worse and worse and worse over the years. Back in the 80s and early 90s was not nearly so negative. For example, this song, still inspiring to me. This song is about hustling, about grinding.
When I was 5 years old, I realized there was a road at the end. I would win lots of pots of gold. Be a billionaire takes hard work for years. Some nights I shed a tears while I sat.
To be a millionaire takes hard work for years. I can get behind that, right? This is all about him working his way up, you know, starting to work at a grocery store and then eventually getting a record deal, making some money. I can respect that. But, you know, since then, especially after Dr. Dre came out, rap has just gotten more and more and more negative. You know, it used to be about selling drugs. You know, it's cool to be a drug dealer. Now it's about using drugs. Now it's just about being a fucking addict and about spending all your money on dumb shit that doesn't matter and just having these like terrible attitudes about women. There's a million songs I could play to illustrate this, but I thought this one was kind of a good example. This is a birthday song by 2 Chainz featuring Kanye.
All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. All I want for my birthday.
All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe.
When I die, bury me inside the Gucci style.
When I die, bury me inside the Gucci store. These people sitting around fucking drinking out of their fucking solo cups.
Got a big
You know, got a thong birthday cake.
So I call it big booty. Skirt, skirt.
Not even the worst example by any means, but really just kind of illustrates the level of like low vibrational frequency. It's just all about sense gratification. I just want to fuck. I want to do drugs, and I want to go buy some dumb shit to impress a bunch of people that don't even care about me. That's the level of like low vibrational frequency that rap is on these days. And it's sad. As cringe as a lot of the people who say that, you know, rap is all about guns and bitches. Well, it kind of is. And again, I've been listening to rap longer than most people watching this have been alive. Sadly, it is true. Rap is a pretty morally bankrupt kind of culture these days. Super violent, materialistic. It's a bummer. That said, let's compare that, the virgin drug addict materialistic rapper, with the Chad pop country artist, one of my favorite songs, Famous Friends by Chris Young and Kane Brown. This is a song celebrating all the people that he knows in his hometown, and I think they're actually like the real people as far as I can tell. Listen to these lyrics.
Boy Randy, he's a preacher. My girl Megan, she's been teacher of the year.
My girl Megan, she's been teacher of the year.
I've got some famous
Isn't that nice? You know, fucking 2 Chainz is busy making a thong birthday cake and says, bury me inside the Gucci store. Meanwhile, the Chad pop country artist says, hey, what about my friend who's teacher of the year in my hometown?
back in Hamilton.
This is white? You think that guy's white? You might want to get your eyes checked.
When I go back home, I got some famous friends.
What a nice song. So thoughtful. This video is so white, isn't it? Like that guy? Imagine writing songs about liking life and lifting those up around you. Exactly. It's wonderful. It makes me happy because one of the things that kind of bums me out about just, I mean, it's hardly unique to America, but just pop culture in general, is how much we focus on people that contribute nothing to the world. I mean, we give so much attention to people like Jake Paul and fucking, I don't know, Donald Trump, fill in the blank. All these people that just add nothing to the world and ignore the people close to us that do contribute so much to our lives and to their communities. You know, we give all our attention to these fucking talking heads on TV, on cable news channels, on the internet, whatever. Give all our attention to them. And meanwhile, we ignore the people in our community that actually make the world a better place. And I really like this song for that reason. So much of this stuff in like aggressive music, alternative music, is about complaining about this like very abstract shit, political stuff on the other side of the fucking planet that you have nothing to do with. Meanwhile, there's somebody like the woman in this video that's just like trying to be a fucking teacher, that's actually helping kids, doing something for her community. Nobody's writing a song about her, but Chris Young and Kane Brown did, because pop country is the best genre of music. That's why. Another example, kind of harping on this a bit, but you know, it has to be said. Metal, hardcore, punk, I would say, not the best attitudes towards women in a lot of cases. For as much sort of woke posturing as they do, as much woke virtue signaling they do about, you know, how great women are and blah, 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 I would say, you know, not a lot of great uplifting women lyrics about women. Here's one example by Asking Alexandria from back in 2013. Music is about rebellion. No, it might be about rebellion to you. It's not about rebellion to me. Okay, this isn't so bad. It's a little douchey. Go to the bedroom, I don't even know your name. Not so bad. Wait a minute. I knew when I first saw you. Oh. Take it all the way. Lovely. And then here's where it gets really good. Oh boy. The virgin metalcore band calling women awful words that I don't want to repeat, living an awful, empty, hedonistic lifestyle. It's sad. But then on the other hand, how about this? We have the Chad pop country king, Drew Green, his song Good Old Man. How about this? Actually, let me, we'll find the lyric version. No, I'm not trolling you at all.
I'm cleaning up them dirty words that I say these days.
Meanwhile, this song is about how he wants to be a better parent because he's got a kid now and he wants to be on his best behavior. Like Danny Warsnop's over here saying, get down on your knees, take it all. Meanwhile, Drew Green's saying, you know what? I should stop swearing so much because I need to be a better example for my son.
Working on bad habit breaking, cutting back on Copenhagen, whatever it takes, cause I got a gift from God.
There we go. Got a kid in the back seat. Got to have some responsibility.
Just a good old boy, trying to be a good old man.
Just a good old boy trying to be a good old man. Out here learning on the fly, trying to do the best I can. The pop country king, again, taking a look in the mirror and saying, you know what? I could be better. I got a responsibility now. I have a son. I need to be a better person because he's going to take after me. I got to be on my best behavior. I can't let myself fall into bad habits, to give in to like my base instincts.
Just a good old boy.
How dare he sing about bettering himself? So you get the idea. Again, it's a question of priorities. I've spent a few years drinking and partying and, hanging out with the wrong kind of people. I get it. But it's a question of priorities. What does the culture embrace? It's no judgment. I just want everyone to do what makes them happy. But ask yourself, does living the way that Danny Warsnop talked about, living the way that fucking Future or Drake or, Thy Art is Murder talks about, does that make you happy? I don't think it does. I'm unironically fighting back tears right now. This makes me think of my dad and how I hope to be a fraction of the man he is for my future son. I'm happy for you, man. That's my point, is like, I'm not like offended by Asking Alexandria lyrics. I don't give a shit. I've been listening to fucking Anal Cunt and the Meat Shits for 30 years. Like, you're not going to offend me. Just saying, like, I don't relate to it anymore. I don't necessarily think it's healthy. I don't think it's interesting. I don't think it's compelling. I just think it's kind of boring and trite, and I'm not into it. Another example, a little bit more fun, when we're talking about, our dream girl. Who is it? Who is our dream girl? Assuming you're into girls, who is your dream girl? Is it the emo girl? Yes, no one is crowd killing because they're happy and well adjusted. That's right. This is the dream girl for MGK. This girl got like 15 facial piercings. She looks like Pain from Naruto. Thigh-high fishnets and some black boots. Cigarette perfume. That's the dream girl. Apparently. That's a fucking understatement. No one who's mentally healthy looks like that. That's a fucking understatement. This is the dream girl, apparently. The bootleg version of Pink from 2009. This is our dream girl, right? That's what they want over in metal world, over in hardcore world. That's what everybody wants. The goth font Twitter bio girl with the big boobies and the black lipstick. On the other hand, how about this? Pop country Chad, Dylan Scott. He knows what's up. Dylan Scott knows the truth. That's right. And so does, in the chat here, Excedo Flair, have me a country girl and a golden retriever. That's right. Here we go.
Find you a girl that leaves you speechless. Gets wild on the town, but still loves Jesus. Find you a girl.
Here we go. Look, here's the truth. Find you a girl that loves her daddy. You will find 0 of those at any metal or hardcore show. 0. Go ahead. I'll give you $100 for every girl at a hardcore show that loves her dad. And I will walk out of that show with every single dollar I had in my wallet.
Girl that loves her daddy. Talking about babies makes her happy.
Find a girl who loves her daddy. Talking about babies makes her happy. Things you will not find at a hardcore show.
Take it from me, that's the kind.
That's right. It's the kind you need to find. It's the truth.
You just can't have mine.
Any Chad who mentions Jesus automatically has country dad's blessing. That's right. Go ahead and chase that big titty goth girlfriend if you want. Just saying. Maybe you should take a page out of Dylan Scott's book. Maybe you should find the girl who loves her daddy and talking about babies makes her happy. That's my advice, my friends. I mean, hardcore dudes are the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? All these dudes who are into the damaged big titty goth girlfriend are just the male version of these women. I'm not trying to put the women down. I'm saying that the guys are the same fucking thing. And if that's who you are, that's fine. But, I just don't relate to it. I just don't. And in all seriousness, like if those are the kind of people who you were drawn to, you need to take a look in the mirror and ask yourself why. Because like attracts like. So if you're attracting damaged people, you need to take a look in the mirror and ask, why do all these damaged people like me? That's the question. The thing that's missing from these country videos is a lot of these metalheads will agree with all these wholesome messages. They still do meth, though. There are toxic country girls and mentally... Well, of course. I'm painting with a broad brush, but you want to say, well, because there are some examples that disprove the pattern, these are the same. They're not the same. So the question is, what's different and why? And the reason why is because nobody gets into bands called Cannibal Corpse and Hatebreed and Death Threat because everything is okay, right? I mean, that's just like, you just don't. Normal people don't relate to Death Threat and Hatebreed because they're like, that sounds a little intense. Why are you people so violent? Well, because everything is not okay. And look, I've been there. I have 2 Hatebreed tattoos. So I get it. But my point is, you don't need to wallow in it. You can move on. You don't have to be that person forever. Again, between this shit. This song is fucking good, though. Old Whitechapel is fucking good. Again, over here in Metal Land, they're writing songs about, like, murdering women. Look at that. Like, it's awful. Like, you could write a song about a woman, and this is the one you choose to write. You write a song about murdering her. Like, I'm only laughing because it's so just weird. Meanwhile, again, over here in pop country world,
I love you just the way
we have
God
this.
made you, girl, he don't make mistakes.
He says, hey, it's okay. I love you just the way you are. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect. I love you just the way you are. This is 100% fucking fact right here. Committing to a woman or a guy is the moment you stop being a boy and become a man. If that's the ball and chain, I proudly wear it around my ankle. That is the fucking truth. That is a fact. What a nice video. I don't know who these people are. I guess they're probably, you know, these don't look like actors. It looks like people they actually know. What a nice video.
I love you just the way God made you, girl, he don't make mistakes.
Quote unquote imperfect people. And they're saying, I love you just the way you are. What a sweet song. Guys over here in these deathcore bands are like, okay, how about this? I'll write a song about murdering this woman. Meanwhile, the pop country chat is like, hey, I want to, you know, I know she's a little bit insecure about her skin or wrinkles around her eyes or whatever. Let me write a song to tell her, hey, baby, I love you just the way you are. Don't you worry about having a few wrinkles or, you know, your skin condition or whatever. You're perfect just the way you are. That is the difference right there. The most wholesome shit you've ever seen. It's great. Here's a particularly egregious example. Again, the attitudes about relationships, your lifestyle that you want. This is a particularly bad one. I'm cherry picking for sure, but listen to this.
Put Molly all in her champagne. She ain't need none.
Put Molly all in her champagne. She don't know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it.
Took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't need none.
Like, ooh, okay. And this is Rick Ross. This is and Future. These are not like obscure, you know, people I picked from the middle of nowhere. On the other hand, my man Chris Lane, the pop country Giga Chad.
But I never walk up and talk to.
He meets a woman at a bar. He doesn't put a Molly in her champagne. He says this.
But when I saw you, I had to.
The uber giga lord of all chads. That's right.
Leave me sitting right here.
He says, hey, listen, if you want to leave me sitting here, that's okay. No expectations. But if you feel like talking, that's cool too. The true Chad does not pressure women. He doesn't guilt them into talking to him. He doesn't say, oh, I bought you a drink. Now you have to talk to me. He's like, hey, it's cool. No expectations, no pressure.
What's your name? What's your sign? What's your birthday? What's your wrist tattoo? Bible verse say?
What's your dream job, girl? Where's your hometown? Yeah, what makes your world spin around and around? That's getting to know somebody. What's your dream job? This is reflective of actually wanting to get to know her. Like, hey, what are you all about? Where are you from? What do you want to do for work? He's asking questions to figure out your security questions. Yeah, what was your pet's name? Tell me about yourself. It's nice. What a nice message. Again, I'm cherry picking to some extent, but this is Eminem. This is not some, you know, obscure artist that nobody's ever heard of.
Sit down, bitch. You move again, I'll beat the shit out of you. Don't make me wake this baby. She don't need to see what I'm about to do.
This is about, like, you know, hurting his ex-wife. This is not some, you know, niche weirdo. He is the best-selling rapper of all time. Think about that and what that says about the culture. On the other hand, I'll leave you with one last one that I really love. Thomas Rhett wrote this about his wife, who he's been with since they were in high school.
Raise a toast with some cheese.
Since they're like 17.
But I can't see us together.
This is such a nice song.
That'll be us someday.
That's right. Fellas, is it gay to like women? I feel like that's what, like, I feel like that's the attitude in metal, right? Like it's gay. They think it's gay to love your wife. I'm just laughing because it's so fucking dumb. It's like, bro, you love your wife? That's fucking gay, bro. I don't understand. It's bizarre. It's like you people are 14 years old. And this is such a nice song. Raise my kids? Yeah, right. You kiss your wife, you homo. This is such a nice song, you know? Again, he's known his wife, you know, his wife and him like went to high school together. And this is about him envisioning their future together. He said when he was in high school, he knew that he wanted to marry her and have kids together and then get old together. And this is really the point I wanted to make with this segment. Your whole life could fall apart tomorrow. And knowing that, how do you want to spend every day? Where do you want to allocate your time and energy? Hopefully it's to things that will make you happy. And is it the messages in so many of these rock and metal songs? Is it, and rap songs for that matter? Who seems happier to you? The average pop country Chad or the average virgin metal nerd who writes songs about killing women with a chainsaw? Who seems happier to you? All I want is for everyone to be happy. I'm not saying that I have it all figured out because I don't. But I'm older than most of you, and I've made a lot of fucking dumb mistakes, and my life has been great for the past 9 years. And all of it is because I consciously rejected all that bullshit. Do what you want, listen to what you want. My point is just be intentional about the messages that you let into your brain, because the information you consume turns into thoughts, and thoughts turn into actions, and actions reinforce all of that. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. So be thoughtful and intentional about what you do, about the messages that you let into your head, about the thoughts that you have, and the actions that you take as a result of that. I'm sort of obviously being dramatic about comparing these two things. Do what you want. I'm not saying that if you listen to Deathcore, you're going to be unhappy for the rest of your life. Obviously, like, that's not true. Maybe just question some of that stuff. Maybe there's some lines of thinking that you've been fed from the alternative music scene that are not actually going to make you happy. Maybe there's some things that you should question. Maybe there's some things that you should reject. That's my point. Just question it. That's all. All right, my friends, I have to go eat dinner with my wife, who I love very much. I love my wife because I'm gay. I'm gay for my wife. It's the truth.